though fallen now. This story was told by the master while at Jataka monastery about a brother monk who gave up persisting in path. For it was then that the master addressed that brother and said, "Brethren monks, in past days the wise and good persisted in path even amid hostile surroundings, and, even when they were wounded, still did not give in." And, so saying, he told this story of the past. Once upon a time when Brahmadatta was reigning in Benares, the Bodhisattva came to life as a thoroughbred Sindh horse and was made the king's war horse, surrounded by all pomp and state. He was fed on exquisite 3-year-old rice, which was always served up to him in a golden dish worth 100,000 pieces of money, and the ground of his stall was perfumed with the 4 odors. Round his stall were hung crimson curtains, while high up was a canopy studded with stars of gold. On the walls were festooned wreaths and garlands of fragrant flowers, and a lamp fed with scented oil was always burning there. Now all the kings round yearned to possess the kingdom of Benares. Once 7 kings surrounded Benares, and sent a missive to the king, saying, "Either yield up your kingdom to us or give battle." Assembling his ministers, the king of Benares laid the matter before them, and asked them what he was to do. Said they, "You should not go out to do battle in person, sire, in the first instance. Send such and such a knight out first to fight them, and later on, if he fails, we will decide what to do." Then the king sent for that knight and said to him, "Can you fight the 7 kings, my dear knight?" Said he, "Give me but your noble war horse, and then I could fight not 7 kings only, but all the kings in India. My dear knight, take my war horse or any other horse you please, and do battle." "Very good, my sovereign lord," said the knight, and with a bow he passed down from the upper chambers of the palace. Then he had the royal war horse led out and sheathed in armor, arming himself to cap a pie, and securing on his sword. Mounted on his noble horse he passed out of the city gate, and with a lightning charge broke down the first camp, taking 1 king alive and bringing him back a prisoner to the soldiers' custody. Returning to the field, he broke down the 2nd and the 3rd camps, and so on until he captured alive 5 kings. The 6th camp he had just broken down, and had captured the 6th king, when his warhorse received a wound, which streamed with blood and caused the noble animal sharp pain. Perceiving that the horse was wounded, the knight made it lie down at the king's gate, loosened its armor, and set about arming another horse. As the Bodhisattva lay at full length on his side, he opened his eyes, and gathered what the knight was doing. "My rider," thought he to himself, "is arming another horse. That other horse will never be able to break down the 7th camp and capture the 7th king, he will lose all that I have accomplished. This exceptional knight will be killed, and the king, too, will fall into the hands of the enemy. I alone, and no other horse, can break down that 7th camp and capture the 7th king." So, as he lay there, he called to the knight, and said, "Sir knight, there is no horse but I who can break down the 7th camp and capture the 7th king. I will not throw away what I have already done, only have me set upon my feet and clad again in my armor." And so saying, he repeated this stanza, "Though fallen now, and pierced with darts, I lie, yet still no one can match the warhorse. So harness none but me, O charioteer." The knight had the Bodhisattva set upon his feet, bound up his wound, and armed him again in proof. Mounted on the warhorse, he broke down the 7th camp, and brought back alive the 7th king, whom he handed over to the custody of the soldiers. They led the Bodhisattva too up to the king's gate, and the king came out to look upon him. Then said the great being to the king, "Great king, kill not these 7 kings, bind them by an oath, and let them go. Let the knight enjoy all the honor due to us both, for it is not right that a warrior who has presented you with 7 captive kings should be brought low. And as for yourself, exercise charity, keep the commandments, and rule your kingdom in righteousness and justice." When the Bodhisattva had thus encouraged the king, they took off his armor, but when they were taking it off piecemeal, he passed away. The king had the body burned with all respect, and bestowed great honor on the knight, and sent the 7 kings to their homes after taking from each an oath never to war against him any more. and he ruled his kingdom in righteousness and justice, passing away when his life closed to fare thereafter according to his deeds. Then the master said, "Thus, brethren monks, in past days the wise and good persisted in path even amid hostile surroundings, and, even when wounded so grievously, still did not give in. Whereas you who have devoted yourself to so exceptional a teaching, how comes it that you give up persisting in path?" After which, he preached the Four Truths, at the close of which the faint-hearted brother monk won arhatship enlightenment equal to Buddha. His lesson ended, the master explained the relation, and identified the birth by saying, "Ananda was the king of those days, Sariputra the knight, and I myself the thoroughbred Sind horse." If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more content that inspires and uplifts. And remember, these stories are meant to be shared, because wisdom grows when it's passed on.